So, this week, what have we done this week? We've done a lot of... I actually haven't done that much this week. I was going to say I've done a lot of work. I haven't done a lot of work. I was going to do a lot of work, but I took a couple of days off this week, unplanned. I had a call from my genetic counsellor on Tuesday, I believe it was. Was it Tuesday? Might have been Thursday. It's kind of all bled into one this week. But no, I don't know if I mentioned that in some of the videos where I said I had to go and have some medical tests and stuff. It turns out I may be the world's most... Actually, no, because there's a lot of people with this. Not the world's worst. I may be one of... Okay, put this way. When you're a kid, right, and someone goes, you could be a mutant. It's like, yes, X-Men. Apparently, actually, in reality, it sucks a bit. I'm not entirely mutant, but one tiny little piece of my genetic coding apparently is. So yeah. In reality, what that means is it's a genetic mutation on what's called a BRCA gene. And it is the part of your genetic coding that manages your cells, and it kind of stops them from going nuts and just growing and doing their own little thing. And when that bit of your genetic coding has a bit of a spelling mistake in it, like mine does, it means that you are incredibly susceptible to various types of cancer. So in reality what it means is kind of I got the phone call, and whereas most women have a 12% chance of developing breast cancer, if you have a BRCA mutation you have somewhere between a 40 and 80% chance of developing breast cancer. And with ovarian cancer, whereas most women have a 2% chance of developing it, if you have this BRCA mutation, or a BRCA mutation, there's a couple of different kinds, you have somewhere between a 20 and a 45% chance of developing ovarian cancer. You also are slightly more at risk from things like pancreatic cancer and a few other cancers. And because the type of cancer that comes from having it, not all of the treatments that they normally use on cancer will work, especially not the hormone-based ones. So it's a bit bad. Basically, it's a case of if you have a BRCA gene mutation, the likelihood is at some point you're probably going to get cancer. That's a very unspecific way of putting it. There's lots of numbers and stuff involved, but it's pretty much a case of if you've got this, it's likely you're going to at some point develop cancer. And it also puts up your chances of, if you do develop it, if or when you develop it, the chances of it then reoccurring are higher as well. So that happened. So yeah, that sucked a bit. So I kind of just went, I'm going to take 2 days off. I'm going to go to bed with some cake. That worked. But no, I have a very, very lovely genetic counsellor who I will be speaking to again at the end of this month, because now we know that I have this, there's a few options available to me. There's a brilliant support group on Facebook as well, who I've been talking to a lot of the ladies in there, because they're very good about talking about it and showing you pictures of their boobs, which is remarkably helpful, because I quite like my boobs, but in reality they're probably going to come off, we're thinking at the moment, because obviously if you have them took off, at the minute, where Satya and I may have an 80% chance of getting breast cancer, whereas if they take the boobs off, that drops to 5%-ish, which is a lot lower. And they're unlikely to kill me once I've had them taken off. So, yes, and there are several different types of mastectomies and reconstructions you can have. So that's a conversation that I'm going to have with different medical professionals. You don't have to have the surgery, but for me, it's kind of a case of, I really don't like being ill, and I would rather kind of plan a surgery than know I'm probably going to have it at some point anyway, and be really ill with a life-threatening illness. So just get the surgery, I think, is the way I'm thinking about it at the minute. The other surgery is to have your ovaries and fallopian tubes removed, which although there's a lot of decisions to be made about the mastectomy, I'm kind of the thinking that the ovaries are definitely going. The kids are pretty big now. I ain't planning on having any more. Yeah, so having them took out, it's a slightly smaller surgery as well. It's not a full hysterectomy, and it's a slightly smaller surgery than the bilateral mastectomy. Is it bilateral? That's the way. You know what I mean. I've read so much. There's so many terms in my head. But yeah, it's a slightly more straightforward surgery. Of course, it does instantly put you into menopause. The joy. But again, ovarian is kind of the one I'm more scared of. Less likely scared of, but obviously something changes with your boobs, you have a good chance of seeing it or feeling it. Ovarian cancer is very sneaky. It doesn't have any symptoms. And even with the enhanced screening that you get when you get diagnosed with one of these genetic disorders, they often don't catch it until it is way too late to be dealt with easily in any way, shape, or form. So yeah, that's all going to happen. It's a bit of a kind of a push for me to get back healthier. I used to be very fit, and then I got very unfit, and I was slowly getting fitter. But in order to have these surgeries that will prevent me from getting these cancers, my BMI has to be below a certain level. Obviously, generally have to be in good health. They're big surgeries. So that all has to come into play as well. So yeah, there's a lot happening. Like I say, all the decisions have not been made yet. It would be ridiculous to make final decisions at this stage before I've spoken to my genetic counsellor further, nurses further, surgeons further. There's a lot of people to talk to before we really come up with a finalised game plan for how we're going to stop my crazy mutant genes from trying to kill me. So yeah, there's that. Yeah. Not been the best week, not gonna lie. Been a bit sucky, but it could be worse. I could not know. It could be really sneaky little genetic, like mutant genetics, just waiting to kill me stealthily. Whereas now I know they're there, so we can go after them. The only way this is better is by making it like a superhero film, okay? This is how I deal with things, okay? So yeah, that all happened this week, so that's obviously going to be a bit of an ongoing saga. What else have we done this week? We had some very good fun. I took the kids to bounce, to jump 360 today, which was really good fun. I know that's been in previous videos, but it's the first time I've took the kids. And again, brilliant day. We went to the family session this morning, which was really good fun. And then we've just been generally messing around, to be quite honest. That's not nothing definitive done. Yeah, Sunday tomorrow. Possibly a lazy day, possibly catch up on some of the work that I really should have done this week but didn't because everything went to heck. Yeah, I'm way behind. I've got customer orders that were meant to be done, websites that were meant to be updated, but it was just like, I don't care anymore, to be quite honest. I do care. It's very important to me, but just not as important as everything else that's happened this week. So yeah, we'll be getting that sorted. We've got a few bits to sort in the house. We're going to see Val. We're going down to see Gordon's mum Val next week. So that's happening. So that'll be great to catch up with Val next week. And yeah, that's kind of it. just nipped in at Asda, right? And like normally buying like Christmas and Yule stuff in December just doesn't happen. In December? In November it doesn't happen because I think it's ridiculous. However, Asda are making pigs and blanket flavour crisps. I don't know what sort of magic this is, but I want to find out. Don't I?
Yes.
What do you reckon?
Feels like bacon and sausage. I can taste the sausage.
I reckon Asda might have just come up with a way to sell smoky bacon crisps to idiots like us. They really are just smoky bacon crisps, aren't they?
Sadly.
Eh?
Sadly, do.
Scott looks so disappointed. You look genuinely betrayed by Asda. I mean, I suppose they do taste of pigs and blankets, but it's definitely more bacon than it is sausage, isn't it?
Yeah.
They're just smoky bacon crisps. Asda were disappointed. We expected better. There should be at least some sort of hint of sage and onion in there, and there is none. For someone who's disappointed by them, Scarlett, you're eating a lot.